going to talk about masculinity and the fact that it is running out these days, and we really need to fix that, because when we have a world full of soy boys that do nothing and cry all the time, it doesn't get anyone anywhere in any way. We need to teach and train these young boys how to become men again. And guys, if you're still in some of these categories, you need to fix some things in your life to become a full, true, traditional, godly, masculine man. So I believe to be a man thoroughly, the truest form of a man, you need to be a traditional man. To be a traditional man, you need to be a masculine man. And to be a masculine man, you need to be a godly man. And so what do I mean by all that? Well, I'm going to go through several points, maybe in the next couple weeks, on what I believe that means. And first off, I believe it means that you need to have God. God needs to be first in your life. What does that mean? It doesn't mean that you go to church and you say, well, I go to church, so I'm good with God. It doesn't mean that, oh, I believe in Jesus, so I'm good. It doesn't mean that just because you do nice things for people sometimes that you're set and you go to heaven. It's not what any of that means. Why do you do any of those things? Is it on your heart to do that because it makes God happy? Because that's what he calls you to do? He says to follow my word, etc., etc. Or do you do those things to be like, okay, so I went to church this week, God, so I'm good, right? Oh, hey, I said a prayer at, evening supper. I should be fine, right? Hey, I know the Bible exists. I know it says to do this, that, and the other. I must be good, right? No, it's not what any of that means. It means like you need to do those things because it's the right thing to do, and do what God calls you to do because he calls us to do it. Even if you get nothing in return, even if you go be a blessing to someone else and you get nothing in return, you're like, I was still able to be helpful and bless someone. I'm happy. So a few things on this is what it says in the Bible. In 1 Peter 2:20, it says, but if when you do what is right and suffer for it, you patiently endure it, this finds favor with God. Yeah, he tells us in the Bible many times that it's not going to be easy to follow him. He says actually the exact opposite. He's like, you follow me, your life's going to be a lot harder. A lot more people are going to persecute you and hate you and do all types of bad things. In James 4:17, it says, so for one who knows the right thing to do and does not do it, for him it is sin. So if we know what to do, if we don't follow the rule book that God gave us, he tells us what to do pretty much for most everything. If we don't follow that, like we know it, we have it, we know we're supposed to read it, we know we're supposed to follow it to the best of our abilities with what we understand right now. So if we don't do that, and we're choosing to just do what we want, we are living in sin. Like we are being sinful people. And to be actually like truly free, in 2 Corinthians 3:17, it says, and where the Spirit of God is, there's freedom. So if we want to be free and everything that we feel holds us back, that we feel imprisoned in this world, the way it is, he says to have God, and there's freedom. And one of probably my favorite of all time is Matthew 7:12. It says, in everything, therefore, treat people the same way you want them to treat you. For this is the law and the prophets. The simplest thing in the world is to be nice to people, do to them the way you want them to treat, and do back to you. It's not that hard of a thing. But everyone just acts and reacts the way they want to on situations. So if we follow that, even the Stoics, they made it their golden rule: treat others as you would like to be treated by them. Literally exact same thing. That's what the Stoics live by. That's literally their like golden rule to follow by. Why are we not doing the exact same thing? Yeah, I used to believe that I was good because I was like raised knowing God. I was raised reading the Bible. I was raised believing, Jesus died for my sins and the whole thing. And I thought I was good my whole life. And in literally less than a full year now, God showed me that that's like not how it really is. He's like, there's a lot more to it. You have to actually have a relationship with me, not just know of me, really. So after I learned that lesson the hard way, everything came into place. Everything made so much more sense. I got the freedom, the peace that, there's nothing else that could describe the type of peace except complete serenity and just not having an issue with anything, just knowing that God's got everything in his hands, and I'm like, hey, here you go. Here is literally everything. Do with it what you want. And I'm here if you need me. And it's been going perfect. It's gone better since I made that decision than my entire life of trying to run my life by myself. It's much better in his hands.